Hello there everybody, this is Novice here, and today, let's play F-Zero GX on the Nintendo GameCube. What's this? Nintendo Sega Amusement Vision? The same company that did Super Monkey Ball? Yep, that's right folks, F-Zero GX was made in partnership with Nintendo, Sega, and Sega's Amusement Vision. The same team that made Super Monkey Ball. Just makes you wonder, how did this turn out in that case, if it wasn't, made in-house by Nintendo? Well, I answer that question, it's amazing. I don't know if I'd rank this above F-Zero X, but I would definitely say this is definitely in the top 2 best F-Zero games, and I played the Game Boy Advance versions, and I'll talk about them someday, but let's just say I'm not a big fan of them, like the original. But yeah, love F-Zero X and F-Zero GX at least, so cannot wait to play this game. This is definitely one of my favorite GameCube games, and it became a favorite pretty quickly, I must say. It's basically F-Zero X, but now on GameCube, so better graphics, some new mechanics and whatnot, some new characters, and it is just so much fun, just like F-Zero X. It is hard as can be, though. Let's get this out of the way. This is not for the faint of heart. This is one of those games that you gotta get good at. And you may notice in the middle there's a story mode, but we'll put a pin in that for the bonus video, okay? So, as usual, we'll start on Novice, and oh boy, a lot of machines to choose from. We got Fat Shark, Cosmic Dolphin, Blue Falcon, the OG4, Blue Falcon, Golden Fox, Wild Goose, and Fire Stingray. You also got everybody returning from F-Zero X, as well as some new characters that were in the arcade version of this game called F-Zero AX, I believe. And I've never played it, but there's a way to play on the GameCube with what was it called? I don't remember what it's called, but some sort of cheating device. But anyways, for the first cup, the Ruby Cup here, we're going to be going with Mighty Gazelle and his Red Gazelle. So starting off on the Novice class, and then we'll move up to Standard. And I'm not too an expert. Let's get that out of the way now. So as usual, we start with Mute City, Twist Road. And just like F-Zero X, you can set your bar towards accelerator or towards max speed. I like to put it about there for max speed, and if you push left and right, you can change your colors, which is cool. I'm going to stick with the red though, because I think he looks cool, in that white design or silver design, whatever it is, with the Red Gazelle. Alright, so let's rock and roll. So when you start the game, the camera is actually zoomed in like this. I don't know why they did that, but if you push down on the D-pad, you can zoom it out more like this, which is where I prefer personally. You can also go into first-person view if you're sadistic. Why would you want to go into first-person mode for this? I don't understand that. But yeah, you can go into first-person for some reason. You can also zoom out further if you really want, but I feel that's too far, so this is where I like the camera personally. And let's get this out of the way. I don't like the announcer in this one as much. The F-Zero X one is just so iconic. This one just comes off kind of bored and uninteresting in my opinion, so not a fan of that. But all the high-speed action is still here, so obviously hold the A button to accelerate, push the Y button to boost. You can also push the B button to brake, but who uses brakes in the racing game? Come on. This is a fast-paced racing game. You don't want to use the brakes. Brakes are for chumps. I don't believe X does anything. Or no way X does. If you push the X button and left or right, you can slam into your enemies. You can do that in F-Zero X too, but in that game it was pretty worthless. So, yeah, I never used it in the LP. But it's a lot better here, and if you push the Z button, you can do the spin attack from F-Zero X. If you guys remember that. So, don't have to hold Z and R and then push R anymore, or hold R and then push Z anymore. Thank goodness for that. And if you use the left and right buttons, you can, drift towards the left and the right, so that can make steep turns or sharp turns a lot easier. So, that's how the controls work for this game. And we'll talk about the attacks during the second race here, because I'll actually be demonstrating the side attack. I might be demonstrating the spin attack as well. We'll see if I do that or not. Here we go, Casino Pals Split Oval, though. Yeah, so far these courses are looking pretty similar to X, I must say. But, nothing wrong with that. X has some great tracks, what can I say? Yep, that's the side attack. You just push the X button, and the direction you want to slam into your opponent, and there's the spin attack. So, combat has definitely improved, because the side attack, just my personal opinion, is way, way easier to use than the spin attack, in my opinion. But that being said, there's also a bit of a bad thing, too. So as you can see by the skull there, I took out Iron Tiger, my rival at the time. That's great and all, yeah. But here's the thing. The spin attack I showed you, it has been nerfed so bad. Like, it's funny. In F-Zero X, in my opinion, the side slam was next to useless, so you just stick to the spin attack. Here's the opposite. The side attack is incredible. As you saw there, I took out Iron Tiger, no problem. One hit, he's gone. But I hit some of the spin attack, oh no. It barely leaves a scratch now. It's like, couldn't you guys have a better balance, make them both useful? I don't know. But, yeah, that's the combat explained. And, yeah. So let's go ahead and finish this track, and then we'll move on to the next. Well done, Mighty Gazelle, well done. I guess it's also worth pointing out, too, I hear there's that camera glitch with Mighty Gazelle. I don't know how true that is, though. I'm just going to say it like it is. I am not an expert in this game. If there is some sort of camera glitch or something like that, I don't know what they're talking about. So, yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. I also gotta say, the music in this game, personally I prefer F-Zero X's soundtrack, but I will say, I really like the variety in this game. It's pretty good. Now we come to Sand Ocean Surface Slide. Pretty trippy looking in there. Sorry, I just wanted to let you guys enjoy the music for a moment there, because Sand Ocean has a pretty underrated theme, in my opinion. I don't think it's as good as F-Zero X's Sand Ocean theme, but it's still pretty good, in my opinion. And as you saw there, I did the spin attack. I hit at least one machine multiple times, and it did nothing. So, yeah. That just goes to show how worthless the spin attack is now. Like, I'm glad that's just one button now, but why did you have to make it so useless? Like, yeah, you improved the controls, great! But it's so useless, you might as well never use it. The side attack is the only one worth using now. And while I do maintain that it is better than the spin attack, it's a lot more effective, a lot easier to pull off. At the same time, you know, what if someone's coming from behind you and you want to knock him back, you know? Spin attack would be better than that because, you know, you can actually hit them. Just a thought, what the heck is that floating in the background? You want to give us an explanation, Nintendo? No, just there for background? Okay, sure. I mean, this is the future of racing after all, so I guess not everything needs an explanation. Just go with the flow, I guess. No, boy, I'm gonna die. There we go, that's better. Yeah, so, yep. Almost done with this track, and then it's on to the next one. Unlike F-Zero X, instead of 6 tracks, it's actually 5 tracks, which, you know, it's good. I don't know, I mean, it's like, either one's fine, in my opinion. I always recall F-Zero X being 6 tracks long, so, yeah. I'm okay with either one, but I don't know, I think 5 might be better, personally. Doesn't drag out as long that way, so you can get on to the next step quicker. So, yay, I win again, first place. Yeah, I'm kicking this game's butt so far. Yeah, this game's hard. What was I talking about? I must have been lying, right? Oh, how I wish. This part, you know, I'm going to make the game look easy, but trust me, after this, it's going to get a heck of a lot harder. This game is going to kick my butt over and over and over again and never once apologize for it. But hey, it's part of the reason I like this game, you know, it's a fair challenge in my opinion for the most part. And now we got Lightning Loop Cross. Let's do this. Again, just wanted to let you guys listen to the fantastic soundtrack, so apologies for being quiet there. One thing I will say about Lightning that I don't really like the colors all that much. In particular for one course in the Emerald Cup, yeah, the darkness can be a bit of a problem. Like, I get it, it's lightning, it's storming and all that, but at the same time, you could have had more colors on the actual track, in my opinion, to make it a little bit easier to see. It's not so bad for this first course, but again, for the Emerald Cup, one of the hardest courses in the game, in my honest opinion. It really could use some better lighting, just my opinion, so yeah. But I digress. We'll talk about that in part 3 when we get to it. For now, let's just focus on this one, which has a split pass. So obviously, one half has energy regains, and the other half is a speed booster, or dash play, whatever it's called. So, yeah, basically pick your poison, although both are good for you, so I shouldn't call it poison, but you know what I mean. In particular, if you're playing it as someone like Mighty Gazelle or King Meteor, someone with a body rank of E, you probably want to get some of that energy so you don't explode. I haven't mentioned it yet, but just in case you didn't watch F-Zero XLP, well, number 1, why didn't you? Go watch it. And number 2, that bar on the right is not just your boost meter, it's also a health bar. So, yep. I can blow up if I run out of energy and get into a crash, so let's not do that. Let's get some energy, and now let's boost to win! Nobody's stopping Mighty Gazelle! Nobody! Unless I'm not playing as him, in which case I'll stop him easily, but I digress. Anyways, almost the end here, and I always love how the music changes up on the third lap too. Like, you know, you heard it before, now it's all sped up and excited, like, oh boy, it's the final lap! Get your butt over there and finish! There we go. Just like that. All right, first place! Yep, first place yet again. So Ruby Cup is basically just a cakewalk. It is basically the tutorial to the game, so don't expect too much difficulty on the first cup. But as soon as you start the Sapphire Cup, oh boy. Yeah, that one's unforgiving. But again, we'll talk about it next part, so yeah. Alright, on to the last course for this cup, Aeropolis Multiplex. Well, that's an odd looking multiplex. So where do I sleep? Where do I watch TV and whatnot? Oh, not that kind of multiplex? My bad. Alright, let's do this. Let's try and finish strong here, ladies and gentlemen. So, yep, over here we have a jump pad, which can be useful if you're trying to get away from the crowd, but I unfortunately missed it, so maybe I'll show it off on the second lap, we'll see. Although, generally speaking, if you're trying to speedrun, you probably want to avoid that, because it doesn't really slow you down too much, but at the same time, you want to keep the speed going, you don't want to go flying in the air. That's why whenever you watch someone speedrun this game, they generally point the ship down when they're on a cliff, so that way they can go drop down to the ground quicker, but I won't be doing that because I don't want to die, obviously. There's no Lakitu to save me in this game. If I fall off, I'm dead, and that's that, so that sucks. But, yep. Also got dirt again. How does this slow my machine down when I'm floating above the air?
Not scientifically possible!
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. Also, there's mines on the side, which you think would be a bad thing, but it actually isn't as bad as you think. Let me explain. So the mines, and there's the jump pad, by the way. So the mines will actually give you a huge boost of speed if you crash into them. The downside is they will take away some of your boost meters, so if I can just give a word of advice, if you're going to use the mines, use them on lap 1. Obviously don't hit too many so you blow up, but you know, hit 1 or 2, get the speed boost, and then after that, don't touch them again, because it's more important to hold on to that boost meter than anything. But then again, what am I talking about? I'm no F-Zero GX expert. I'm just a casual Joe that likes to play video games. And F-Zero GX just happens to be one of my favorites, and I'm excited for this to come to the Nintendo Switch 2 online service. That's going to be awesome. Hey, maybe I can finally beat the story mode. Hint, hint. Oh boy, going to blow up. Fortunately on this one, they have boost energy right there, so... I definitely say Ruby Cup is a really good tutorial cup. Definitely the one you want to start with when you first play this game for obvious reasons. And even if it's your first F-Zero game ever, this is still a really good cup to start off with. I don't know if I'd rank it above the Jack Cup in F-Zero X, but it's definitely up there. Yeah, anyways, on to the final lap, so let's finish strong, ladies and gents. Let us finish strong. Oh, not those three again. Yep, that's one of the new characters from the arcade game. I don't remember their names, but yeah, if you thought Gomar and Shio, or ironically in 6 right now, so you can actually see them, was weird that, you know, they allow twins to race? That's weird. Well, now they allow triplets to race. It's like F-Zero doesn't seem to want to follow its own rules. I thought it said only one driver per machine, and, you know, with Chouan-Naria, they kind of had to make an exception since they physically have to be together, if I recall correctly. But with these three, I don't think there's anything saying they have to be all three together, so what? F-Zero don't enforce their own rules? No wonder they haven't made a new game in 20 plus years. Well, I just make myself sad saying that. If you're wondering what says it, no, F-Zero 99 does not count. Again, fantastic music in this game. You gotta love how it all ends with a dance party. Just like every DreamWorks film ever. But one last thing to do before we call this part over.
F-Zero TV. From the special F-Zero GP venue, we're broadcasting an interview with the Grand Prix champion. Okay then, I'd like to ask you something.
Oh boy, we get to ask him a question?
Congratulations on your stunning victory.
I survived my accident, and now I'm back with a vengeance.
Thank you for the interview. That's it, everyone. We'll see you at the next Grand Prix.
So, yep, at the end of every race, you get to ask your pilot a question, and that's always fun. You get to learn a lot about the characters by doing that. I don't get all of them for every pilot in this game. There's just too many, but someone's already uploaded all of them to YouTube, so I do recommend looking them up if you're interested, because there are some funny responses in there, I must say. But anyways, folks, that's going to do it for this part. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later.